Welcome back everyone to the second episode of my Let's Play on Alchemy Factory. Now in the last one we did just hit level 4 at the end of the episode and we did make about 20,000 I think it was. We did have to purchase some stuff to plant some seeds. We are coming up towards the end of the day, but let's have a quick look at our research because that's where I'm going to be starting off the episode. I need catapults if I want to automate the shop. I also want to be getting the workbench. If I want to be selling potions in the shop, I'm going to need the potion shelf. So this is stuff in the same tier. I want to unlock hoppers as well. Just need to wait for that one to finish. We still haven't got round to linen. We will get to there and bandages pretty soon. And the trash barrel is not something I like using. I don't like trashing stuff. So we're moving into the next tier now. And there's a couple of things I want to purchase. A purchase portal. That is extremely important. The bank portal I can't do until that's done, and tunnel conveyors. So the catapults only takes like gears, rope and wood. That's fairly easy to build. The hoppers will take the nails. We did set up nails at the end of the last episode, so we should be able to do those. Is there anything else I want to jump off immediately? No, I want to get the bank portal as well. But we're still waiting for the purchasing portal. Glass pipes is something we'll need eventually, but not until we're making a push for vitality potions. The first push we're going to be making is probably for clay. We'll go for a clay build, and then we'll go into basic fertilizer, because I want to make these nurseries, but to make the nurseries you need clay. So as you see now, we're down to about 7,000. I'm hopefully the quest will give us some good stuff to do. Do I want to unlock clay immediately or not? I wouldn't need to do the crucible if I want clay. Okay, tunnel conveyors are done. And then we'll get into pulleys and stuff that later. These are quite nice, the crossway tunnels. Just to keep things looking nice and tidy. No, I think I want to automate the shop before I go into the clay production. So we'll do that later in the episode. So we're currently doing the bank portal. I am going to need a little bit of money to purchase the automated checkout, and then we need to get everything into the shop. So that is going to be where our main focus is going to be. So I do want a cashier. 3,000, and I want one of these for the bank portal. I think that's a good buy. We've got about 1,600 left. Not much money. We do still have loans we could do. So the shop is closed at the moment, so that's fine. And I don't think I can... Oh, I can build these. Okay. I might have an idea for this then. Probably should have tested this out first. But I'm going to put the shelf directly up against the wall. Then we have our automated cashier. Because I want to have my shop looking pretty nice. I do not want belts to be running across the floor in the shop. Okay, end of day report. We made a lot on there because we did a lot of quests to push up to tier 4. But as you see, we've spent a lot out. Just trying to find the automated cashier. Here it is. We'll have it like that. The customers can come up to a wall. And then what I want is the new... And let's go back onto my proper bar there. Where are the new tunnels? Here. So we need to grab some iron nails and we need to grab some iron if we want to build those. Let's have a look at the first quest. Let's see if it's something we can get some money from. So the bulk order needs a lot of nails. Unfortunately, we're not making them fast enough. The sample requests goes into the dispatch portal. We won't be touching on that immediately. And we would need to research linen if I want to be able to build a bed. It would give me 8,500 copper, which is a nice amount, but then it will start adding linen on the daily quests. Now, we do have a good amount. Okay, I am going to research the linen. I wanted to automate the shop first, but no, we'll get the linen done. Because we do have a full box here of thread. Doing nothing. Okay, we've got a lot of flax on there. You're making rope. How are we doing with rope? Only about 100, so we are going to need more. So let's put all that into there. Let's have a look how this is doing. So it has still got sage. How is it doing on the other side? Not great. Okay, we'll take 2 stacks out. I'm going to need to take 4 stacks out to match this. Let's put all the sage in there. I think I'm just going to grab 1 stack out of here. That should balance the numbers here pretty good. So that keeps my healing potions going. We're nearly, well, we're back up over 100 now. We're using 100 for the quest. And on this entrance here is where we're going to be building the linen thread. Or the linen cloth now, shall I say. No, it's not for that machine. We could just have a look in our V menu. We do have new charcoal, so these are new fuel sources. We will be going up to that pretty soon because that's going to be a great push in technology for us. So linen thread, it is in an assembler. Or linen thread we need into an assembler equals linen cloth. And let's just put you out the same side. Recipe's not set. We'll set it to linen. And then all that thread that's just sitting in the box doing nothing here will get turned into cloth. That's what I'm going to need for the quest. Which I didn't tab on. So let's go and get that. At least this will allow us to be able to move our bed. And I can get rid of that counter. And we got the iron. So what I want to do here is I want to have a money room behind here. Now, technically, it's outside at the moment. I do want to move these. We will need to get more seeds planted if we want to keep the potions going and the linen rope going. So we have this new piece of technology we just researched called a tunnel conveyor. Now, you can put it up to the wall. As you see, there's a direction going in. If I want to rotate it, I can have it a direction going the other way if I come from the other side of the wall. And the till has 2 outputs. We can put both of those into there. Best to do the 2 outputs. And what we can do is just drop the money onto the floor for the moment. We want a tower lift. Now, if we have a look at this, you'll see it's sticking out by 1, so I need to come 1 away from the wall. And I think just for now, where do I want it to go? We'll have it going into a central box. And you'll see it's blue, so I know it's connected. And then we'll do this in exactly the opposite. Coming out this way. Coming from that. And then in the middle here, we'll put the new big boxes. Now, I would have to put it here. And then let's just jump up and thread the belt into here. And thread the belt into there. So all the money's just going to be coming in this box for the moment. And then we'll do something with it. We can't have a shop running unless we can get some tills running. And that's the next thing we're going to be doing. So we want to build some shelves. Now, the ones I like doing are the 3 shelves. I'm going to put 1 there, and I'm also going to put 1 here. That way, if I'm coming out the wall with catapults, I can reach both these shelves with the first 2, and then vice versa. So I need a couple of more. Now, we have 2 ways of doing this. Do we have the stairs yet or not? No, I think that's for the workbench. Okay, I'm just thinking how to do this. Okay. I am going to need to get the tunnel conveyors in. That's the one I want. So what I want these to do is come into the shop, not go out of it. So you'll see the arrows turned now. And I want to get it as close to the wall as possible. Onto the floor. No, let's move you out the way. And I want to get 6 in. Because I got 6 shelves. And I think for now, what I'm going to do is put a box on the inside of these. I want to change the form. Get one of those boxes. This way I don't have to have box storage outside. I'll just have a box storage here. If I need any products, I will just come here and grab them. And then next to that, I am going to need a catapult. And then hopefully this should work. And we just got to thread them in. So you can go to this shelf. You can go to the back one, but you can't go at an angle. Because you can only go space in front, and I think it's 1 tile to the left and right. So I think I want you to go to the back. You can come to the front. And then we just repeat. Go to the back. Come to the front. Go to the back, and then the last one comes to the front. So all I've got to do is chuck 6 sets of products in there, and I can have 6 products sold in the shop. That means I can start opening the shop. Funny enough, we've been stacking up a load of stuff here for that exact reason. We're going to take everything there. We're going to take everything there. We take all the mortars, but I am going to have to buy some stone for that. We'll take the rope. Because I want to start getting my shop numbers up now. Now I'm just going to quickly look at the goods. So linen thread isn't a good that can be sold. So I've got the gears I've just picked up. So that's that and that. We've got the mortars we've just picked up. We've got the rope, but we haven't got a massive amount of it. And we've got some iron nails, but I'm using them for building at the moment. And we've got the potions, which will need a separate shelf. So just for now, I'm going to take all the potions out of there. And what we can do is put a potion shelf over here. I do want to leave a little bit of space between these, just so people don't have pathing issues. So I'm going to put it there, and I'm going to repeat what I did here. But I'm not going to put the conveyor in until I know where I'm going to thread it in. I'm just going to do something like that. And if we want to sell them faster, I could actually move the box back 1. Put 2 catapults on. You can go to that shelf, and you can go to that shelf. And then we'll thread the box into both. So if I chuck onto here all the potions I've got on me, it will go onto them bottom 2 shelves. And if I want to, I could put another 2 catapults and have all 4 shelves filled. But we're not producing them at that sort of quantity yet. The first one is going to be to the back over here. Don't think it really matters what I get where. So we'll put large gears up here because that was the first thing we produced. We'll just make sure our stack is always full on us. The next box we'll set up with... Actually, I think I want to set up the next one with the gears. Make sure we've got a full stack on us. This box could have the rope. I'll just chuck the 129 rope in there. So as you see now, we've started getting product on the shelves to sell in the shop. So we can open up the shop. We've got a till set up so people come here, automatically do their purchases, and any money we earn go into a box here. Which is fantastic. And we've got a little bit of money on us. We are nearly broke at the moment. So I'm happy with that setup, and as you see, people are starting to come in the shop. If you look at the very top, you've got something that looks like a wrestling belt. The third one across from the left. That is your shop reputation. The closer to 100 you are, the more people you have in the shop. So at the moment, we're going to have a slow trickle of people coming in, and they're not going to buy as many items. But if we can keep the shops stocked up, then that's going to soon go up. And I think in this one here, we will put the mortars in. Mortars are very, very good sellers. And I've still got 2 shelves left. If I want to, I could put mortars in another box. But that'll be the next thing we're setting up. Is sort of getting the platforms. I don't know if we can actually build the platforms yet. No, we can't build the flooring. So I think the next thing I want to be putting down is you. Because there is some upgrades we can get very early. Let's try and get them. Put you down there. And as you see, I haven't got to do anything with the shop. It's going to just keep earning me money in the background. And every time I want money, all I've got to do is come to this box. And as you see, we've doubled our money already. Now, we do want to keep these going if we want everything to be working still. We are coming up towards the end of the day. I think I'm going to get the flax and the sage first. Just going to set myself up to get double the amount of seeds we've got planted here currently. Because we are going to want to keep the ropes going and now the thread. So we should have 10 in here. Just take the 10 at the moment. And because we didn't build a box, it's actually not doing anything at the moment. So let's put a box on. And anytime I need products, I can just come in and collect it for the shop. There's probably more gears to go over to the shop. But we want to set up a more permanent solution down here. Now, I do try to like having these higher up. So what you can do is, do we have access to the shelves yet? No, we don't have access to the shelves yet. But when we can get shelves, we can build the shelves across and have our catapults up here going down instead of on the floor. But I just want the shop to look tidy. But overall, all the shelves are full. On the next day, we should make a good amount of money. And we have got enough for that quest. So let's turn in the quest. This was... Which one was this? This was this one here. 8,000. Very nice. Bulk order. We'll try and get that one done. We might have enough nails. So we are going to need to purchase some iron. Okay, we only opened the shop for a few hours. But as you can see, we made over nearly 3,500 in potions. It's the biggest seller we've got, so we do want to make sure we can keep that one going. But let's have a look at the daily quest. We need money. Well, we've got an urgent request here for 60 linen. Well, we just set up linen. If we can get this one done, 19,800. So I'm hoping I can get that linen done. I was going to use linen on upgrades today, but no. This is going to take the priority now. We're up to 33 linen. We're making 12 a minute. I think a minute works as an hour in the game, but I'm not 100% certain on that. So we should have enough before the end of the day's out. Pick up some extra rope. Pick up some extra gears, and we'll just go and top up the box for now. Not as automated as I wanted, but it's enough to get us started. So again, let's just chuck everything in there what needs to be. We'll fill up that box. Next one's going to be rope. We'll put the 36 in there, and then we'll put half our 100 in as well. Next one, small gears. Let's get you filled up. We didn't pick up any mortars, so let's see if they did any mortars yet. Which would be you there. Okay, only 4 more. We do need to get that a bit faster than it currently is. Do have some linen thread. I am going to need some linen thread for a quest soon. So I might need to take this off, but we'll get this quest done for... it run out of stuff to do. Now, because I need that for the quest, and that quest is nearly 20,000, I'm going to prioritise the sage this day. On this machine over here. Which is the one that's doing the rope. This one here, it needs to go into. Okay, so let's go and have a look at the bench. So we have some upgrades, so we just need linen thread for this one. I need to wait for the linen cloth to be done before I can do that. Same with this one. We could turn in the building tool. Now, there was a way of seeing what that was. I know I definitely need it, so I am going to do that. Now, I think you have to go onto your character screen. Yeah, building tool. So then now we can actually do some of the platforms. We can do a signboard. We can do stairs. And there's a new thing, a chandelier, that's just been added in a patch that dropped this morning. That's nice. What about the last one? Work gloves. The main ones I want to get is inventory and potion belt. Potion belt means you sleep 2 hours less at night. So basically you can get 2 hours more building in every single day. So I do need a lot of thread for a lot of the stuff. So yeah, we just need to wait for that big quest to do. Let me just see how the shop's done so far today. Over 7,000 already. Okay, we need to wait a few hours for that to do. Just take any money that's in there. Did buy a couple of logs, so let's go and get them done. Going to be for this machine here. Now I still have some gears on me. I don't really want 2 stacks of them. That's fine. I want to check on my iron. Especially my nails. Over 300 nails. What do we need for the quest? 180. Let's just put you back in the box. I'll just keep the 200 on me. And how are we doing with iron on here? We've not got much of a stockpile. But as you see, the belts are fairly full all the time. So if we check in this box, it should start getting more and more in this box here. It's not the most efficient. We can put more than one melter down, which we will do pretty soon. We did need 260 pulley gears, so I did miss that one. In that case, I will take the 2 stacks. 60 healing potions, I'll go and grab them. Ah, we need bandages, but we haven't actually unlocked bandages, so that's very naughty of the game to give me that on a quest. Now, bandages won't be that hard to do. As you look at the bottom there, it's 2 healing potions and 1 linen. But I do have 3 days for this quest, so I've got a little bit of time. I don't need to panic. This is the urgent one. It pays so much more money, 200% the market price, because it gives you no time to do it, basically. So that's the big one. And what I might even do is put a second machine on. Let's see how much is in here. Yeah, 43. We're not going to make this now. Could put another one there. Don't need another box. We just need to go straight into this. So the resources will spread between these. I think I'll change the belt slightly on this. And the center one will have going both ways then. So 1.5 times goes in here and 1.5 of the output goes into this side. I think that will do now. Another 115 rope, that's nice. And we need to make sure we put another one of these on here. This is just a temporary solution. Okay, bandages. Let's just go and get it researched. Bins are them already appearing on quests. Let's have a look how to do bandages. So bandages is going to be 2 healing potions and linen. Into a what? Into an assembler. And I'm just jumping ahead mainly because I want to get this quest done. So what I can do is put 2 single boxes down here. And we only need 16 bandages. So it means I will need 32 healing potions. And then 16 linen. But let's make sure we concentrate on that quest first. There's not much coming through. And all that flax is done. Got about an hour on these. So yeah, it's going to be a bit tight on whether we can do it on this day. I don't think we can. I think I might just miss that quest. Ah, no, flaxes are done. All has to go into this side. You can just go into here. Get me some more healing potions. Just want to get these planted before the night. It's us. How many more seeds have I got on me? another 2. Let's build another 2 plots then. Okay, all the money from the shop we've got on us. So we've got 11,000, so we're pretty rich, to be quite honest. And unfortunately, we missed out on the linen quest. We just didn't have enough sage to do it. And we was very close as well. We was only missing, I think, about 10. Okay, so all the machines are full there. We've got a good amount of plants to collect. And I think I will just chuck them mainly into this side. And we'll fill up this side. And there's bags there. That just means your inventory is full. So you're full up to the brim. You're full up. And then whatever's left can just go into this side. That'll be the rest of the sage to fill up this box. I just can't wait until we can get into automated nurseries. It makes life a lot simpler. So being as though this one wanted to do 16 bandages, I think I'm going to do that with the linen thread I've got on me. So there's 12. That'll be 15. Just put enough to do the bandages we need for the quest. You should start working now, yep. Can only do 6 a minute, so to do the full amount we need, it's going to take a few minutes. I think I will remove you. I don't need this to be... Actually, we'll just keep it at the moment. Just processes the stuff a lot faster. Now, if we look at our things, we can actually sell iron nails. So that'll probably be the next one I will chuck in. I do have a good amount on me. And we do have some boxes. Well, we've got 2 spare. Let's go and chuck in just that for the moment, because the rest will be for quests. We'll just do that. So now we've got nails being sold on the shelf as well now. Let's top up all the boxes. Only got 108 rope, so there's 173 in there. That's enough for the moment. Let's go and actually, I'm going to take this down. Because I do need some linen thread for some of the upgrades. So I'm just going to have this doing thread for me. And I want to collect some mortars. Okay, all the tubs are topped up. So now I'm stocking up 5 products. I've still got space for 1 more on that side. And this side here, I'm going to need to make sure I leave 60 on me for the quest. Okay, we got the 60 on for the quest. I've got a little bit of thread on me. Let's see if we can do any upgrades. Especially the potion belt. Be extremely helpful to me. Yep, we've got enough to do that. It just means I have to pick up some more potions. Okay, next potion belt just needs healing potions as well. So we could go straight up to the 2nd tier. That means better sleep or less sleep. We need more time for building. Building tool needs clay. That's going to be one of the things I'm going to focus on. And then we just need a lot of linen thread for this one. 80 linen thread in total. Still got 2,000 on me, but there should be a lot of money in the box. And also I'll pick up the daily quest. So that will be 8,000, nearly 9,000. Would take 20 of the cloth. This doesn't need any cloth. It would just mean I need to grab the potions. Still got 2 days on both, so yeah, I'm going to take this one. Just get it out the way. And how much money do we have in here? Quite a bit. I think I'll just keep the 1 stack of copper on me. Just so we don't fill up our inventory too much. And how are these doing? We've got our 16 bandages, so we just need our healing potions now. Which we've got, so we can turn in that quest. $25 silver. Very nice. 25,000 copper, basically. That went quite rich. Now, did we get access to the flooring? That's what I've been after. That's why I've not built this part up yet. No. I think it's building tool level 2. You get the flooring. Bother. That's why I've not really built there, and I wanted to get that. So what was building tool? Was that the post? It was the clay. Clay and brick. Brick is fairly easy to set up. So we'll do that one now. How are we doing with thread? Have we got enough for the quest? 30. I think that was one of the upgrades I could do. We do need the 100 healing potions for this, so I need to save up for that. Let's just get the gloves out the way. They're not really that important. Next one would take soap. That's a little while off. So I just need to get 50 of the linen thread, and then I could just get rid of that linen machine then. Okay, let's start having a look at some new stuff. I would really like to get a fuel setup, so let's have a look at what the soap needs. I don't think we researched it yet. So we've got all the research up here. Let's start onto tier 4 stuff. So I think clay is the next one I want to do, but to do clay, I probably want to do charcoal first. Yes, because this needs charcoal. But what is this saying? It needed wood to make charcoal. Oh, it's wood. Wood in a crucible makes charcoal. Then we could take the charcoal straight into a grinder to make charcoal powder. That's actually fairly easy then. So let's get some wood. Now this is the time when I'm going to start self-feeding. So we'll start here. And I'll just put all the logs on I just brought. So we know from the message on here, to make charcoal, we've just put wood into a crucible. So what we can do is just copy one of them, and we have the same setup we had there, just for the moment until we can see ratios. Actually, let's move back one, because I might need more than one wood going into here. Now we should have a bunch of planks on us. I can just fuel the machine with the planks. That's fine. Just trying to think. No, we'll move. I don't want the 2 inputs on the same side. Let's rotate you round like that. So I need this to come from the machine. It's blue now, so I know I've got the right direction, and I need it to come on the top platform. Now, the next stage of it was a crucible, which we did unlock, but we haven't got around to using it yet. And I need room to have some belts here. Don't know how many I need, but just for a test, I could just say, chuck in a little bit of wood in there, and then we should be able to see some numbers. So 15 a minute goes in, 15 a minute comes out. That's nice ratios. Now we know this does 30 a minute. So this setup could actually do 2 crucibles. Do we want to set it up like that? Yeah, I think that's good enough. So I don't need you there. Unless I want to double or treble the amount. But for just now, we'll do this. Now we've got to bring you down onto a belt. Now we have a couple of ways. We don't have the shelf, unfortunately, so we can't use that. So it's just going to be the old-fashioned lab stands is the best way. just so I can build underneath it if I need to. Where's my lab stands on here? Number 5. And then when I know I don't need belts through, I can always replace them for blocks later. And then we need 2 outputs out. Just something as simple as that. That comes into charcoal. Now it does say it goes into a grinder. Charcoal into a grinder equals charcoal powder. So we can improve this straight away by instead just putting a grinder on the end. Now we just need to check the ratios again. So 15 a minute in here and 15 a minute in here. So it's 1 for 1. So then what we could do is, because we need to get an output out of here. We don't need that right this second, so I'm going to get rid of it. So we've got a bit of space on here. If I put a second wood on here, I could... If I put 2 wood, I could supply 3. That might be actually worthwhile. Okay, I'm going to change my idea of the build. So I'm going to triple this up. Each one's doing 50, so that's 30. 4 would be a full belt. So I think I want to go for 4. So I'm going to change the way I'm doing this. So if we bring that wood down this side, it's going to be so easy for me to belt in something into here. Then we need the grinders on the back. So just for now, I will be using a lot of lab stands. And then we'll have a belt coming out, something like that. I think I want to go straight onto the top, the second tier here. Because this charcoal powder is going to be a fantastic fuel source. So we could have it coming down, splitting in 2. Half of it comes back round to feed itself. And then the rest of it goes onto a line where I can use it. So I could possibly get another one up. Would that be a good idea? It might be best if I move the first stone away. Something like that. Like that. So each of these saws at the moment are doing 30 a minute. That's going to be a full belt of 60. And we can just bring it up to here. And then have it lift up here to go and put it onto the top here. Like that. It comes in, goes onto the top. Goes round the back. Comes into the crucibles. Then it would go into grinders. So this part needs to go out one more. But this is going to allow me to supply a lot of the other machines I'm going to need. And the tighter I can do the blueprint, the better it is. I don't think I'm going to be using any of that. But the one advantage is to having the lab stands is if I stand back here, you'll see I can grab the ovens. If that was blocked off, I wouldn't be able to do that. So if I need to fuel them, I could. And I can't put the charcoal in directly. Okay, so yeah, we'll just use these stands. Because I need to bring this down. So half of it will be coming down to this level here. And going back into the machine to support itself. So all I would need to do is to keep these supplied and everything else gets supplied. And this is just going to be to increase power. And then what we can do is thread this line into like an iron processor that has a better fuel economy. Because if we look in our menu at the moment, wood has a 24p, charcoal has a 48p, so it's twice as good. I have got a little bit of a boost on there. I think I've got a 20% boost, so I think it should be 20 and 40. But then 57.6 on the charcoal powder, so it's even better. And it's just a simple process. Now, if you look at the expense report on this day, between quests and selling in the shop, 48,000 we made, and we only spent out 7. And as you see, our big seller is the potion, so we have to keep the sage and the flax going in there, because that's where, like I said, probably about a quarter, if not half, the money we make in the shop all comes from those. But very nice day to see. So we just need to get stuff from here down onto here, and then we'll need a separate line. So this would actually come in perfect here. I'm going to put a line coming out this way. And this is probably the first time I'll use a bus system, because what I can do is bring this onto a bus, move all this forward, and then we could put some purchasing portals at the back. And then all I've got to do is belt this out here, and this should come out as charcoal powder, and then just have one little lift here. To start off the process, it needs to join the bottom line from the top. Just move around to make sure that's blue on the top. It has. So everything that gets grounded for these comes down onto the belt. These will be doing 15, so this belt is going to be 60, but then some of it's going to be used to fuel these machines. And if I want to do the iron process, all I've got to do is put the iron ones here, here, and I can double up my iron production, which is something I am going to be doing. Now, the reason I've got this belt here is because I want anything that's not going into the machines to then come down onto a belt here to supply other machines. So it needs to join the bottom. So as you see there, it went blue on the bottom, so I know it joined. And then I've just got to rotate it so it's blue on the belt. So 50% goes down here, 50% goes here, and if this ever fills up, then everything comes down onto this line here. I think that's a nice compact build, and if I desperately wanted to, I could always put a third grinder here. But this should all be working at perfect. All I've got to do is just fill the bottom, and I do have a little bit of charcoal powder and charcoal we can just chuck into there just to get out of my inventory. So let's see if all this works. So as you see, charcoal powder's getting ground into... Sorry, charcoal's getting ground into charcoal powder. The first machine's making the charcoal. And then down here, we get charcoal powder, which is then going to do these. Now, one thing you can do is if you have an item that can't be burnt. So in this instance, say stone. I could put stone in the second slot, and the machine will only ever stack once. And it's a very good time-saving one, just to allow machines to just use the one slot. It doesn't need to use both slots. And as you see, it is slowly coming down. Half of it's going on this belt, but this belt's doing nothing at the moment. So this will back up in a minute. If I desperately wanted to, I could just take this lift out until I'm ready. And then what I'm going to do is probably come this side for the iron. So we'll put an iron process on here. And I do want to double up my iron process. So for the iron, we won't have to fuel with this anymore. So I'm going to cut it off. We will have this fueled up here. So I'm just going to put... But I'm not going to put the belts in yet. We'll put the belts from there to there. We just need to connect this one onto this line as soon as we're ready. But you just see that line backed up, so all the stuff's going in here, and it can never burn the coal or the stone. Hence why I'm just using stone, because it's nice and cheap to block up. Don't think there was any coal in there. Let's get rid of you. So it was basically furnace coming down. That was doing 10 a minute, if I remember right, at the top. Let's just build it again. I think it's the iron smelter. Now, this time, again, I don't want it to be coming down the same time I fuel it. I can easily just belt it above it if I really want to. It would compact and save space, or I've got all this space to do something with. So, yeah, we'll put it on this side, and I'm going to build 2, but I'm going to need a little bit more stone. This box should be full up. Let's take all you off and put you all onto that side. Just because this box is full. I am going to take half of it out, but I'd rather the stuff go into production. Let's go and fill up the shop. Now, we did need 100 potions for one of the things in here, so I'm going to do that first. Does mean I've got no potions to sell right at this moment. And if we have a look on our character screen, we will see the potion belt. We now have to sleep 4 hours less. So we will begin to sleep at 2 AM in the morning now. Gives me more time to actually do stuff. And then the other thing, we can't do that until the end of the tier. We could just do the inventory upgrade, which would be a great upgrade. Yeah, we are out of potions, unfortunately, because of that. How much rope do I have? No, there's still 100 in there. That's good enough for the moment. Can't wait until we get to the point to automate this. Don't need all those nails on me. That can go in the shop. At least there's stuff in the shop. We are up to 17 on the rep now. Let's get these boxes filled with anything I don't need on me desperately. And if you remember in the first episode, I did say, let's go into the box, not into the machine. You don't need to run everything 100% efficient to keep your shop running. We're not running everything efficient, and the shop is well and truly thriving at the moment. Now, unfortunately, I didn't plant my seeds on the last day. It was very naughty of me. And we are out of flax now because of that. Do have a little bit of flax in this box, so that's okay. We can actually make some healing potions now. We've got the sage in. Always make sure we pop in and have a look at these quests. Maybe it's a urgent order. So again, 16 bandages. We know how we can do that. Took some healing potions in that little setup. Okay, and just look at all the money we've just got stacked up in the background. Plus, I've got 30 silver on me. Now, if you do want your money to be converted, this is where you'll put your bank portals in. Not quite ready to get to there yet. Let's finish this setup. So as you see, everything's burning, everything's stopped. This end stopped. So at the moment, I could put charcoal powder in a big box. It wouldn't hurt doing that. Otherwise, these are just going to burn for nothing. So let's just grab a big box and plug it onto the end of the line. So any charcoal powder will come in here, and then if I ever need any, I can just grab it out of this box. I've just spent a lot out there just refilling everything up. So everything is full. I do have a machine here that's technically not doing anything. So just so it does something, I'm going to put a big box on the edge. And this one here is just going to be making me planks. So if I need any planks, I'm going to have a good amount in this box here. Picked up a load of iron for this. So I'm going to fill you in, but we're not going to fuel you at the moment. Should clear out most of the inventory space I've got as well. Brilliant. Okay, so we looked over here. We had the outputs coming down into a processor. Let's just copy that processor so I've got it by me. And what was the 5 iron in? Each of these could give 10 iron out, isn't it? Yes. So if I want this to be 100% efficient, I would need 4 processors. Yeah, I think I can do that. Now, a processor has 1 input only, so that's fine. I could have you... Okay, we'll just do a simple one like that. And now all I've got to do is bring the fuel down. which I can bring down there. You could go straight in the machine, but I need it to go off here, so I need this razor to be on the very edge. And then we'll have to take it from there. And then we could do the same on this side as well. Sorry, pressing all the wrong keys. You would have to go into this machine. So let's get the belt out of here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. The easiest way would be just to have it on this side. Have you threaded into there. Because you're only producing 10 a minute, so the belt isn't going to be majorly full. So yeah, we'll just have some lab stands across the bottom. We'll just do it as simple as possible. Up to there. And I think this time I'm going to use some stone blocks. I'm not going to be belting anything in the middle here because this conveyor lift. We don't technically need you there because there's nothing coming down in this position. So let's just free up all the resources. And you come out there across into the lift, comes down to the bottom into the 4 machines. And then it would only need to have an output. Which is, where's my belts? Number 1. We could put a big box here. And then anything that doesn't go into the box, we could put in a couple of processors here. So it's a bit more floor space than I really wanted. We could turn your form to that way. And turn your form to that way. Grab one of these big boxes. Yep, that's more than enough space. And because the belts are only coming in as less than 60, we only need 1 to go in there. And then 1 to come out the box into both these machines. And then because this is iron nails and I never really need too many of them, I could just put 2 of those and just change the form on this to there. Can we colour these? I can't remember. Oh, we can. So this is going to be a load of iron. This is just going to be for nails. So if I fill this now, that should all go into life and then we'll fix this belt. So that should allow me to just put some in there and then we'll do the same again what we did before. Break them down into single. I only need 1 side being used. We'll block off the other. And as you see, that block's still there and still there. So this is making the charcoal effective. It's supplying all 4. And then whatever doesn't get supplied to here comes down into the box. And if I desperately need to, I can just grab that and bring it round to fuel it. But now we've got iron coming out on the back. We should see nails coming up here. Ah, actually, I think I messed up. Yeah, I have messed up. Because the nail process is here, it didn't need to have all this. Iron was already coming out the machines, that just needed to get boxed. So we spent a lot out on this day because we were setting up the new process, 7,200 in the iron, which hasn't really started working yet. So overall, we would have made a profit on that day. Yeah, let me fix this. So I didn't need to have the iron coming down all the way here. This isn't the build I did last time. I'm sort of doing this on the fly. And we'll break you as well. So I don't need this here. So let's just tidy up some of these belts. And then same here as well. We'll keep the coming down in the same place because I do like that. Now what we can do is just put the box here. And if we desperately need to, am I going to need 2 boxes of iron? Well, it is useful later on down the line. will just use the boxes. The only reason being I'm going to put 2 because it just looks very nice. And then we could just put the stone like it was in initially. Then this doesn't need to be here. That means these machines are all blocked up with the wrong products. I think I still want to go with the 2 processors. And yeah, we'll try and keep it as narrow as possible. We'll have you there. Needed to change the form. And then the iron, I think I may have... No, the box are right. So we should see iron coming out here into these machines. These should be set up for nails, which they are. Does mean I can move that in a little closer. There's other ways I could thread it round to get 2, have one stacked on top of another, which is something we could possibly do with the beams, which wouldn't even be that hard to do. We just have to raise her here or a razor up that corner. Put a beam here, put a beam here. Okay, let's just try that out. So just in case I want to get some belts underneath, we'll put platforms there and there. We do need... Yeah, we do need platform there. So we'll put the box in that direction there. Want it to go underneath. Yeah, that's fine. So then you don't need to be that way. Just change your form. Put you on the closer edge. Gives me a bit more room to play around. The belt underneath, I need it to go into this box. So I can just thread it in there. You'll see both's blue, so that should be working. Ah, that belt doesn't even need to be there anymore. So are we getting iron in here? Should see nails in here. Yep, we're starting to get nails. So you don't need to be there. How would I get a second machine on top of here? Okay. Could put you there. Put you back there. We're not going to be using this, so I could just put stone blocks in here. And then we'll have a use of the beams. Which is down here. We got it from one of the carpenter's quests. Now, as you see, if I change the form, the first one needs wood. The second one then starts needing iron. Then it starts needing steel. Then it needs more steel. So this is the configuration I'm thinking of doing, is this one here. So in that case, that would have to be on top of that box there. This doesn't actually need to be here. I got the length wrong. And then let's try that beam again. It should fit on now. Rotate it round. We'll put the second machine up here. Could put the box here and then it'll be a lot easier to thread things in and out. So we'll try that. So we'll bring you out to say there. Change that form factor again. You're perfect. It doesn't connect up to these belts, so that's fine. How are these doing? So they are struggling to get enough. That means I'm just going to disconnect you. So it means too much is going to the left and not enough is going to the right. So we've got a 50-50 split at the moment. We needed a better than a 50-50 split. We need it to be split and then probably split again. So how could I make that work? Not easily. We do get something called a priority mergers and splitters later, which would fix this problem immediately. We'll just keep it going. If I need to, I can just put more stuff down here. I've got enough in the box already. I don't mind just burning up wood. Fairly cheap. How are we looking on time? Okay, so everything is ready. I need to get the potions and stuff sorted. So let me get these flax done. Okay, the flax is all planted up. I've just done a full amount of flax in there. Just for the moment. Let's have a look at the other quest. So it's just healing potion. So I'll bulk that. It isn't urgent, so it needs to be done on this day. We might have just set the healing potions up a bit late in the day to do this. Up to 30 only. Another 60 on this day is going to be very remote. And this is perfectly balanced, so chucking an extra machine isn't going to solve anything here. Unfortunately. Let's come back to this. So we've got that threaded through now, so we'd have to put a lab stand on there. And we'll put the beam across. Put a machine on the top. And then what I want is in this space here. For it to join the line as well. We'll move you in a bit. And I'm going to change your form just so you're on the same side as where this comes down. Yeah, you are going into the box. And then all we've got to do is thread up iron up onto the top. Which is not that hard to do. We've already got the positioning set up. So it needs to take from the belt. So change the form. And then just come up to the top here. So we've doubled up and we haven't doubled up the amount of sort of floor space. So we've got a nice narrow build. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tiles wide. And this is doing both iron and of this. Okay, so we've got an issue with a belt here. Let me just figure out. I broke something. Ah, no. I've not broke it. It's just we've run out of logs. There's an easy way to fix this. I am just going to move you at the moment. And I knew that was going to happen. I'm going to put some big boxes just up against the wall here. Just for anything I don't desperately need. So anything I'm not using at the moment. We'll keep one stack of that just to fuel machines. Need the coins. I don't need that extra nails just for the moment. And everything else there I pretty much need. Now, how much space would this take up? Okay, I'm going to do something even wilder. I'm going to clear everything from my inventory because I want to move it. And I want to make sure I've got enough space. So what we're going to do is pick up everything and move it in 3 tiles. Just because I want to put some purchasing portals on this side. So press B, hold down left shift. Go across the bottom. There's no piping, so I don't need to raise it up. You can just go to there, and all I've got to do is say cut. So you're on the edge, and I want you to go in 3. 1, 2. You can go a bit closer here. Well, to be quite honest, all this is broke down here. 1, 2, 3. That'll do. Now, we won't do you yet, but I want to break down all this stuff here. The easiest way, you can just press X and confirm. How much space do I have on me? Enough. Just for now, I'm going to get rid of you. I'm going to put another saw here. And then we want to put the big box on the edge. This is just so when I need planks, I've got a lot in the box ready. And then I don't need to be walking around with all the stuff on me. Got plenty of iron nails, so I'm just going to chuck some in this box. Okay, so we have got the issue now, is nothing's been lit up, so that's why I carry the charcoal on me. Because I can just chuck it into here. Fortunately, all the stones I had broke down, I've got to do again. Yep, we only need the one stack, so I'm just going to put one stack in each. We'll put a stone in the second slot. That will keep these going. Single stone there, and let's fill you up. So all the machines are primed, and now this stuff's starting to come through. Now, because this is not doing anything, I'm just going to take these N3 belts off. Might just put one there just so I know where it's going to, or where the output is. And if we need to, we could put a couple of more furnaces on this side. I don't technically need the 2 boxes of iron here. But it does help just to keep the machine going. So both nail machines should be working, and this box should start getting nails at a very good pace. Let's see how we're doing any healing potions. We did get the 90, that's nice. And because our time's going up to 2 AM now, not at 10 o'clock, we've got time to turn in the urgent request to get 15,000. The bulk order still has 3 days on it. We are still working towards it. Carpenter's request for the shelves has now finally appeared, so we need to do pulleys. It's going to be a little while off, and we can do this one for bandages if we need to, just to get the money for that quest. Not something we'll do yet. And what I want to do here is grab a purchasing portal, which I did pick up a portal before. I just never got around to using it. And wood is fairly cheap, to be quite honest. So I'm not too worried about it. I can... let's put you on the side, just for now. Not a permanent solution. And what I'm going to do is have you here. And belts going into here. Now, one thing I will say is the purchasing portal is 1,500. Each of these belts are only going to hold 200. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 1,000, 1,600. If I buy 3 of the purchasing portals across here, then it would be spending more money out because I would have to spend 4,500. So that belt's fine. And then what I could just do is get a box. Only needs to be a small one. Have it standing up configuration. And then what I could just do is chuck in the copper coins into there. Well, let's go into the box. Put copper in. Because otherwise, if you put silver in there, what it will do is put stacks of 50 silver coming out this way. Now, I haven't told it what to purchase, so I can tell it to purchase logs. So as you see, the belts will start producing the logs from the money I've just given it. I haven't given it a lot, so it won't buy many logs. But we've got a good amount in here. Let's get 2 stacks of copper. That means this will keep running until them boxes are filled up, and it will just keep buying wood, and then that box will fill up. So if I ever need wood, I've got a good place to do it. So let's just put the coppers in there. We'll keep the silvers on us. And I'm happy with that. Nice process coming up. 60 a minute coming down. Just using whatever it needs there. I do need to fix this belt system, I think, eventually. Because I would rather the stuff go into the machines and then go onto the line. And we could easily fix that by moving these logs over one. And then I could bring the belt down here, which would be a better solution. So I'm just going to take you away at the moment before you buy too many logs. So I think I would need to move 1, 2 spaces. So that means this belt doesn't need to be coming here anymore. It's going to come out the other side. Now, which one was bringing you down? It was this one, so I can get rid of you as well. So everything's coming up here, and then whatever doesn't come used, we can have it off the edge here. I think that's a better system. That means you can be broke. Pick up all you. My inventory's full of logs at the moment. That's what the issue is. Okay, another superb day. 20,000. We didn't do all the quests on this day either. And only 10,000. But again, a lot of that cost is because of this purchasing portal we sort of set up and we haven't got done right. Eventually I will have a portal at the back of every single machine. It's just in this setup I don't need to do it. You could just go there. We'll put the box back behind it. We'll put you back in there. We'll have to set it to what it's purchasing in a minute. But I don't want to be stuck with all these logs on me. So at the moment, I'm not going to connect it up. This belt here can be shortened now. You would come from... Where's the machine output? Not letting me see it. It's here. You just come onto there. So machine from both machines is coming up the same lift. Everything's still the same. It's just a bit narrower. And then what I can do is a bunch of lab stands all the way up to here. And then whatever doesn't get used in there could then come onto a bus at the back. Now I would want to keep 1, 2, 3 spaces just to get the purchasing portal behind each one. But then, yeah, that's where the belt would be, and that's each of the purchasing portals will be here. Now we'll get rid of all them logs before I start messing around too much of it. But just for now, we can just do that. So all the furnaces will be fueled now. Then any extra will come here. And if I do put another furnace here, it's doing a 50-50 split at this point. I could have this linked all the way around the back, so it fills up all the furnaces before it then goes on the line. Might have been a better solution. It wouldn't be that hard to change. I'll just cut out the middle, bring everything together, and then I'll just have to feed this, sort of move these boxes and have it coming round here. But I think for now that will work, because the next purchase or the next building we're going to be doing is also going to need the fuel setup. Hence why I needed to get the fuel set up first. But as you say, nice good belt. Everything's full up to the brim. Next thing we would want to do is purchase stuff for this. Now there is an easy way to do that. And that's build on top of these. Here and here. If we go down something like that, I think I would have to go up one more floor. Just so I can get you across there. Otherwise, it won't go in this space because of the crucibles. Then what we could do, I think it needs to go over one more, is we'll use the logs again. Yeah, it needs to go over one more, this belt. Which is not that hard. Quickly change. Now these have to be lab stands because there's a belt running underneath. This can be absolutely anything. I will put a couple of lines just in case I want to thread anything through. I'll just put lab stands, it's just easier. On the top here we can just put one of these on either side. Doesn't need to be lab stands, it just needs to be that. Put you there, and then rotate you around. That should be more than enough what I need to do. So we would need to have catapults putting stuff into there. Now the question is, I'm just doing this as a test. How far back can I go and still throw into these? So that won't go into there, but it will go into the back. You can go into there. So I'd have to have something like that. So that means the only way I could do that, I would need another purchasing portal stone. Let's turn in the bulk order before it goes away. And we have got a new quest to pick up. Let's pick up that. And the urgent ones just for some healing potions. Okay, I've just picked up some portals, so I'm just going to make this a bit better than it is. We'll put you on the edge there. You on the edge there. We can delete you. We're not going to tell them to purchase logs yet because I've still got a lot over in the box I want to get rid of. And then all we've got to do is a belt. Like that. And then this can just go on the edge there. Now we've not set it up to do anything yet. How is the boxes looking at the back here? But again, all the money is going to go down the belts in stacks of 50 coppers, and that's how we're going to be using to do a bus. But I want to get the floor ones first, which I need clay for. This will use up all the logs on the belt before it runs out, and that's just going to make me wood. So if I ever need wood, I'll just come here and pick it up. This should be pretty good at the moment. We can just top up the logs with what have we got in the box. We do have a lot of these, so let's top up the shop before we call it a day. Okay, we've managed to get the healing potions for that quest as well. And it was another urgent quest, 15,000. So we've got a carpenter's quest for pulleys and a sample quest for bandages. I will tag that on just so I don't forget about them. And those shelves can be used for putting off the side of these things here. Well, I can't show you until I can get it. So at the moment, this is only just doing iron. This isn't really doing much. So on the top here, I've got another purchasing portal. What I want to do is set up one here. And it needs to be going out this side. And then all I'm going to be doing is belting from there to here. I'm going to make sure everything's still set up. Yeah, you can go into the target in the back. You can target in the back. And then this portal would only need a box on the back, just for the moment. And let's just grab a couple of 5,000 stacks. And then this portal, we're going to tell it to purchase iron ore. So this, as long as I keep this box topped up, these will be kept topped up. And that will keep my iron production going. And I do currently have a lot. So if we go up on the top, you can see the belt. It's going to store up 1,200 in here because that's how much it needs for each one. And then it'll be sending a log on here. First one will go to the first catapult, come to here. Second will go there. This won't last very long. I will need to get a bigger box down here where it can feed both these. And we can do it with catapults. But yeah, you'll see it's just put an iron in there. We do have 2 massive boxes down here, so we've got plenty of iron storage. Just grab a little bit on us, and if we have a look around here, the nails are probably full by now. Did need to put some of them in the shop. And then whatever healing potions I've got on me can just go away. So I think that's where I'm going to call it for this episode. So we've got this bit of a beauty set up. I could stack up the logs on top of each other using some stacking situations I've learned. We could stack these on top of each other by using these planks to go over them. But I think that's pretty good. Nice and narrow is how I like to build my stuff. Nice down the edge. And then I can literally have like a 2 or a 3 walkway down in between each of my builds. But yeah, I'm happy with that build. So that's going to be enough for this week. Hopefully you're enjoying this series. And if there is any builds you do want me to put a video up, just let me know in the comments and then I'll do what I can. But hopefully you've enjoyed this one and I'll be seeing you all again in the next one. Thank you very much for watching.